Being a creator is great, but it also kind of sucks, and here's why. Number one, no one will ever understand what you do. I'm talking friends, I'm talking family. If your spouse or your partner is not a creator as well, it's gonna introduce a ton of friction into your relationship. I've seen relationships fall apart as a result of it. You know, surely you would think that when you achieve all these milestones, you get a certain number of followers, or you make a certain amount of money, or you buy the house, and you buy the car, surely then the people in your life who you care about, your friends, your family, your parents, they're gonna accept you, they're gonna respect you, and the cold truth of it is that you may never receive the love and respect from those people in your life that you so badly want to, and so you have to invent new sources of fulfillment and goals for yourself. Number two is that it takes a really long time to make money. Back in 2009, when my wife started her first YouTube channel,
Hi YouTube friends, it's April and Justin.
Hello.
Literally, the YouTube Partner Program had just started. In fact, she got rejected 3 separate times before we finally got in, and even then, it was pennies, right? It took a long time before we actually started seeing meaningful revenue. And so it can be really disheartening when you look on Twitter, or you look on TikTok, or you look on YouTube of people making $10,000 a month, or $50,000 a month, or even $500 a month.
You guys are getting paid?
And here you are scraping by. The reality is that most people don't make money for a really long time. The good news is that it's finally becoming destigmatized to start monetizing earlier on in your journey. There's a lot more ways to do that, whether it's coaching or digital products or courses, or yeah, of course, AdSense and things like that. But just don't be discouraged if it takes a long time to make money, because it really will. In almost all instances, it will. But the flip side to that is that once you do start making money, there's no ceiling. In a normal kind of 9-to-5 job, you'll be lucky to receive a 3% cost of living, a raise, or maybe a promotion. Once or twice every couple years, right? It's not very frequently, but when you're a creator, you're kind of in control of your own destiny. So the harder you work, there could be lots of different income streams that might be coming in. And so, man, super exciting when you can get there. Number three is that you'll work way more hours than you ever did in your 9-to-5. Honestly, that's kind of a luxury of having a 9-to-5, is you go into the office and you really only think about work while you're there. I mean, probably you don't even need to check your work email, depending on your job. Obviously, you don't need to check your email until you get back in the next day. But as a creator, you're gonna work way more hours because you're working for yourself. But the flip side is that, you'll have time freedom. If you do choose to wanna take a day off and, take your kid, play hooky and go to the zoo, if you wanna go on vacation because you get an amazing opportunity, you don't have to ask for vacation days from your boss. You can just do it. Number four is that your brain will never shut off. You'll always be thinking about the next video that you need to post, or the next fire that you need to put out. But the flip side to that is that it kind of won't feel like a job, especially if you love the thing that you're talking about. For example, I'm a sponsorship coach. I help creators learn to make more money working with brands, and I could talk about this from now until the day that I die. This does not feel like work to me. In fact, it feels like play, right? I get to wake up every day and help people get their very first brand deal. What a moment! For the longest time, they thought this was kind of a hobby or a side hustle that they did, and they never dreamed that they could ever make money from it. And wow, a brand actually wants to compensate me to talk about this thing that I love. What a moment, right? Or I also get to help people learn, hey, you shouldn't just be charging $1,000 for this deal. You could actually be charging $10,000 without 10 times the amount of work. So man, what a joy. So when you find that thing, it really won't feel like work. Number five, you will not take vacations and have terrible work-life balance. I do not have a flip side for this right now. There is no pro that I can think of right now. I am terrible at this. I'm still trying to figure it out. Please help me. Number six, you will never feel like you've made it. For the longest time when I ran an influencer marketing agency, I felt as though I was about to round the corner. Like, man, if I just land this one more client, or if I just get this one viral video as a creator, right? Or if I get this brand to finally hire me, my dream brand, I'll have made it. I'll have arrived. My friends, my family will finally respect me. And the truth is that nope, there is no corner, right? And this has been a really tough thing to learn. And over the years, what I found is that it's actually the journey. It's the process. That's the thing that you need to learn to enjoy, because believe me, I've talked to so many people that once you get to that mountaintop where you think that you'll achieve the happiness and the fulfillment, it kind of feels empty. It's like you all of a sudden look to the next peak. You scale the summit, if you've ever heard this analogy, right? You scale the summit is the only one that you can see, and then you get there and you realize like, wow, there's actually another summit that's even 2 times higher. Okay, that's the one that I'm gonna go for. And so it's the biggest trap, and so you really have to be conscious of living in the moment and realizing, no, it's actually this messy messy middle, this is a thing that I'm gonna look back on in 20, 30 years and remember and wish that I could transport back in time and be squarely in that again. Number 7, if you get too big, people might try to find out where you live. This has happened to my wife and I, and it's scary. It sucks having stalkers. It sucks having to be conscious of Googling yourself and what personal information shows up when you do that. But these are the things that you need to be conscious of, right? If you're doing Instagram stories and, you know, we've had mail laying out on our counter or boxes from Amazon or something with your personal home address. I remember back in the day, we made the bonehead move of, you know, when we were registering our creator business as like a incorporation or LLC or whatever, we used our home address.
I'm in danger.
As the, you know, incorporation address, not realizing that if you look up on the Secretary of State's website, that address will show up. It's publicly accessible. These are all the stupid things that we did coming up because we had no idea. By the way, I'm hoping this saves one of you from doing that. Number 8, you will always feel like you're not doing enough. Man, this one really plagues me. There's so many people that I follow that I admire in my space. You know, I have a newsletter with about 33,000 creators on it now, but there's always someone that I admire. Like, wow, that person has 50,000. Or wow, that person has 100,000. Or wow, that person, they have a LinkedIn strategy, or they have an Instagram reel strategy, or they're doing this thing. Wow, they're like doing Reddit comments or spending all these days in these private forums and getting people to subscribe to their YouTube channel or whatever. There's always someone gonna be doing something else. I have this like squirrel complex where it's like, oh, well, I should be doing that thing. Why am I not doing that thing? And even I have a team. I have a modest team of a couple different people that help me with a lot of these things. But even I feel, even coming to this conference on the plane, I was like sitting on the plane like, man, I really wanna like, you know, get the blog restarted and like maybe I can hire someone like a content marketer to help me with that and do all these like next level strategies and all that stuff. And it's exhausting. And so you'll always feel like there's something else that you should be doing, like there's something that someone else knows that you don't. The hidden truth though is that in all likelihood, you're probably doing more than 99% of people. And so it's this reference point. It's like you forget how far you've come. I constantly forget that. Really important thing to remember. Number 9 is that you will likely never be able to work a normal job again. I've been a full-time creator for 10 years now. I quit in 2014, which was 6 weeks after my first son, Liam, was born, which was super scary, by the way. But man, it's been 10 years of not having to ask for vacation days. It's been 10 years of not worrying that I'm gonna get laid off about a shaky economy. It's been 10 years that I've been able to work with my soulmate, April, every single day. I love that process. But honestly, if push comes to shove, I could do it, but I'm just not so sure I would be fulfilled and happy because there's, 10 years of not having a commute. Holy cow. Man, I commuted for so many years of my professional life. So what things do you think kind of suck about being a creator or an influencer? Let me know below. And if you don't want to have to go back and get a normal job again, make sure to watch this video so I can teach you how to make more money with sponsorships.